Dr. George here with a STEM video on one of my favorite inventions, the dual action balloon pump. It has 4 one-way valves, one in the back, 2 at the end of the piston, and a 4th one along the plunger. So I can pump up this balloon both when I push and when I pull. Now that's what I call working smarter. There's a pattern of holes in the bottom of the pump. On the inside there's a rubber disc. These form a one-way valve. Now I am stretching a balloon across the cylinder. Higher pressure outside air pushes the rubber disc away from the holes and air rushes in. When the inside air becomes higher pressure, it pushes the disc up against the rims of the holes, forming a tight seal, and the air can't escape the balloon. Here's my failed attempt to blow air out the wrong way. The cylinder of the air pump is divided by the piston into 2 parts. In this air pump, we can unscrew the piston. The piston is made of an O-ring between 2 rigid discs that are kept separated by an open plastic framework. The discs have a smaller diameter than the inside of the cylinder, so air can get around a disc. The plunger moves the discs but also serves as a tube, bringing pressurized air from the bottom or from the top out the nozzle. The O-ring only moves when it is pushed by a disc. The O-ring fills in the gap between the disc that is pushing it and the inner wall of the cylinder. While the O-ring is filling one gap, air rushes around the other, up the plunger and out the nozzle. Since the cylinder is hard to see through, I made a transparent one. That's what we will see next. One disc pushes the O-ring, and the lone disc always heads to the decreasing volume, and the compressed air rushes over it, gets blocked by the seal, and the air is diverted between the discs into the tube and out the nozzle. When the volume under the piston is decreasing, at the same time the volume above the piston is increasing and is lower than atmospheric pressure, and air rushes into the increasing space above the piston. The top one-way valve is made up of the plunger, the top of the cylinder, and an O-ring which is covered by the spacer in my left hand. When the plunger is pushed, the O-ring moves with it away from the top and air gets around it. When the plunger is pulled, the O-ring fills the gap, making a seal, and air is blocked and exits through the discs. Half the air comes in here, the other half here, and all the air exits here. The dual action balloon pump. This video was made possible by Picatinny STEM.